everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today we're going to do my February wrap-up. Quick little housekeeping. Normally I like to do reviews on Monday, but I got sick on Saturday, which is usually my filming day. And so now I'm playing catch up on Sunday, which means I'm just going to simplify my life and we're gonna film 3 videos. I'm gonna release them this week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I hope that's okay. And we'll just do my February wrap-up. Okay, so I'm looking at my February pile of books that I finished, and I didn't do too bad. I read 5 books for the month of February, and considering the page length on these books, I'm pretty impressed with myself. I'm looking at this list. 1, 2, 3, 4 books were repeat authors that I have already read, and then 1 book was a brand new to me author. I have 1 3-star read, 1 3.5, 2 4-star reads, and 1 5-star read. There's actually a book that I marked as 5-star, and then after some reflection and some thinking about it, I'm planning on changing my rating for it. So let's get to it. Let's start with my 3-star read. Surprise, surprise, I ended up reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, written by Sarah J. Maas. This was not on my February TBR, so it's like, surprise, I ended up sneaking this book in. The reason why I picked this book up is because Sarah Jane, Book Life SJ, she was hosting February over on her channel because she is a big fan of Fae books. She had like a scoring system for how many Fae books you can read in the month of February. And that's pretty much all it was. It was like, how many Fae books can you read for the month of February? So I decided to take this one off my shelf because I have not read it yet. I don't feel like I have to go into too great of detail of what this book is about. So it's about a young woman named Feyre. She accidentally kills a Fae in disguise. She is taken into the world of the Fae as punishment. And so this is her living out her life in one of the high Fae courts. She meets, what's his name? Tamlin, that's his name, Tamlin, who is a high Fae lord. It's just new adult angst and slow burn, sexy times, and all that stuff. So I feel like all the things that need to be said about this book have already been said. My thoughts on it, I mean, it's a 3-star read. It's an okay book. The biggest complaints that I had were probably the same as everybody else's. Feyre is a do-nothing bitch. She just lets things happen and then she'll act. She's not very proactive, she's very reactive, and then because of that, the storytelling was pretty reactive. She gets told a lot of things and it's not like she's going forth and discovering things on her own. And when she finally does decide to take action, it's always just like a facepalm. There was a lot of painting and eating in this book. The other thing I was thinking about was a lot of people had some complaints about Sarah J. Maas's writing in this, and I agree. Part of me was also thinking that, I mean, she's a professional writer, and this had to get through an editing process somehow, so you would think that she probably argued for the book to be written this way. That's what I found to be the most baffling. Thoughts weren't completed, and then that's why I would get a dash or an ellipsis, and I feel like she must have argued it for it to be that way. So yeah, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know when I'll begin A Court of Mist and Fury, but everybody says that that one is better than this one. So this is Scarlet, written by Marissa Meyer. This is book number 2 in the Lunar Chronicle series. So this follows a young woman named Scarlet. We start the story, she's very upset because her grandmother has been kidnapped and her grandmother has been missing for about 2 weeks and nobody has taken any action and she is trying to take some action. She runs into this young man named Wolf who is a street fighter and they're just sort of drawn to each other, and Wolf offers his help and his assistance in finding her grandmother. And then of course Cinder, our main character from book number 1 of the Lunar Chronicles, is still trying to figure out exactly what's been going on in her life. She feels like she's been lied to this whole time. She's been revealed something that's a very big secret, and now she's on the run. So I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did like Cinder better. The only reason why I knocked it down like half a star and gave it 3.5 stars, it was really enjoyable, but the character of Scarlet, to me, as the main character pushing the story forward, she was very hot-headed. She would just rush into things and not totally think things through. And so I was just having a moment with all of my young female protagonists for my young adult reads. They just weren't thinking things through. And so that's why I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. This book right here, this is Gemina, written by Aime Kaufman and Kristoff. I read this is book number 2 in the Illuminae files. I read this as something to get me excited for Obsidio that is coming out in the month of March. I think it's released this week in the United States. I've already posted my spoiler-free review of this. I did enjoy this very much. It was 4 out of 5 stars. I did like Illuminae better. I just felt like the characters were more compelling in Illuminae than this one. This one felt very much like bad guy versus good guy and lots of action, and there's nothing wrong with that, which is why I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. We'll see where things go in Obsidio, and we'll see where things end up. So this is Gemina, written by Aime Kaufman and Kristoff. All right, so you have seen me talk about this book in a couple other videos before, and all last week I kept talking about how I had just finished this book up and it drained me. It's 1,000 pages. It follows Quoth, and he is telling his life story. This is day number 2 of his life story. This is the second book in the Kingkiller Chronicles, and a lot of stuff happens, as you would imagine that there's 1,000 pages in this book. I thought this was funny because I had already put this on my February TBR, and I did know ahead of time that Quoth would spend some time with the Fae, so this ended up being the second book that I read for February, because it's so long. That's the last Fae book that I was able to get through. So I wasn't able to rack up all these Fae books like I thought I might. But I did enjoy this book. So this is the one that I originally thought of as like a 5-star read. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe it's 4.5. And the more I thought about it after that, then I was like, no, it's a 4-star read. I read another book this month that was completely a 5-star read, Infinity out of Infinity Stars. And the reason why I knocked this down a star is because I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed The Name of the Wind. So you can see my full spoiler-free review of The Name of the Wind if you would like. I'll leave that link. And I do plan on doing a full review of this one, but the reason why I just kept like knocking it down, decreasing its star value, is because of the length. There's a lot of things that happen in here, and I actually really enjoyed Quoth's departure from the university and his adventures that took place. He ends up in a really high level position in a court. He goes on a little adventure in the Fae, like I said. He ends up meeting a mercenary and getting trained in those arts, and he learns a lot of different stuff. He goes pretty much all over the whole world. I know that Patrick Rothfuss put a little thing in The Name of the Wind saying that, you know, Quoth is a storyteller, and if it seems like I'm going off on a tangent, I promise you I'm not. Everything that I tell like has a meaning behind it. For book number 1, I liked that. For book number 2, part of me just felt like that Patrick Rothfuss just didn't want to cut some stuff. But some stuff could have been cut out. So that's all I'm going to say. That's why I ended up knocking it from a 5-star to a 4-star, but still really enjoyable. I do plan on doing a full spoiler-free review and a spoilery review. My spoilery review of this book is mostly going to be like my favorite fan theories about what we can expect moving forward, because upon finishing this book, I'm just left with so many questions. There's just so much to absorb, and I don't know where we're gonna go from here. So anyways, this is The Wise Man's Fear, written by Patrick Rothfuss. This is Ship of Destiny, written by Robin Hobb. This is the book that's like the be-all, end-all. This is a true 5-star read. This is an infinity star read. I even tweeted out like I would give this infinity stars if I could, and I tagged Robin Hobb in that tweet, and she liked that tweet and said thank you, because this book was so amazing. It's just the most complete end to a trilogy that I have ever read. Every single storyline that we had just completely concluded in the most beautiful way. That's pretty much all I can say about it. This was a true 5-star read. I did post already my spoiler-free and spoilery video of this book, so if you are not on the Robin Hobb train yet, I suggest you get on board. Magic. It was complete magic. This is Ship of Destiny, written by Robin Hobb. The sun decided to come out. Nope, it's gonna peek back behind a cloud. Anyways, that was my February wrap-up. Please go ahead and put some comments in the comment section below about the books that you read for the month of February. What did you think of them? And please let me know. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. It's at WhatCastRead. It's the same as this channel. And you can also find me on Goodreads, so if you ever want to know what I'm rating books ahead of time, you can be my friend on Goodreads, and that link will always be down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. You know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.